What's up, decoders? Welcome back to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody. Today is November 2nd, 2025, and you're tuning in to another crazy decode. But before we get to that, welcome to everyone. And while we wait for everyone to file in, let's hit the music.
Nothing's random. Every sign is written in code. You just have to know how to read it. Yeah. Welcome to the cipher. The numbers align. Hidden in the headlines, the symbols combine. Astrology speaks while the planets turn. Every spark in the dark, another truth to learn. From the fall of kings to the pop stars' fall, every headline's echoing a cosmic call. Gematria patterns, they never lie. Messages written in the grids of the sky. We decode the code, reveal the plan. The truth's been hiding since time began. Every number, every sign, every scene we see is the language of fate and reality. We decode the code, reveal the plan. The truth's been hiding since time began. Every number, every sign, every scene we see is the language of fate and reality. Yeah. Pyramids, portals, the sacred scrolls, zodiac cycles, the story unfolds. From Saturn's rings to the tower's flame, the same old gods just changed their names. Watch the world stage, it's a scripted play. The stars set the time, the words relay. So tune your mind to the unseen stream where the truth gets real and the world's a dream. As above, so below, the decode begins now.
All right, everyone. Waiting for everyone to get in here, and the music, as it says at the end of the song, and now the decode begins. I thought that was a perfect way to end the song. And yeah, so we're going to jump into it. Thanks for everyone for filing in, and God bless you all. And thank you to Golden Age Deception. Hello to Not of This World. Hello to Yvonne. Hello to Hoopre El Chupacabre Hoopin. What a name. Yeah, the decode begins now. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We got a crazy, interesting. I have been holding back a decode from you guys for a little while because I'm really trying to put all the pieces together. But I think I'm going to reveal a big portion, or at least a portion of it, in this decode. But first, we're going to cover what just happened last night with the World Series, because again, people always tell me that the sports aren't important, whatever. I had someone comment yesterday, the sports aren't important. We don't care about the Dodgers. Please tell me about the SNAP benefits. Okay. Well, let me just start out with this. I haven't did any decodes on the SNAP benefits and the government shutdown because there's really nothing to decode numerology wise. If you guys want me to talk about it, I can. What is it really? It's the controlled demolition of the economy. Okay. They're controlling the demolition of the economy of the whole world to bring in a new system. I mean, it's really not hard you don't need numbers. And in fact, there really isn't any numbers to show this that I've seen. But, the world is going to get pretty crazy, I think, as we go towards the end of this year, going into next year. And what I'm going to show you in this video, I think also proves that. So, they're doing a controlled demolition of the economy. The inflation is up, the prices are up. I came back to the United States 3 months ago. Everything is so high here, guys. I would rather go back and live in Asia or go live in the Balkans countries where I was, because at least there I can afford some stuff. Here, I can't even buy half the stuff I used to buy before I left the United States. So if people wanted me to talk about these SNAP benefits, well, they're trying to price everyone out. They're trying to make the poor poorer and the rich richer. This is what you call a plutocracy, right? It's a plutocracy. It's the rich on top and the poor people can't afford, right? So it just sucks. It does suck, but hopefully people can wake up enough that we don't have to suffer through this. Are we going to go through another Great Depression? Possibly. If you look into the original SNAP benefits, and this kind of ties into what we're going to talk about tonight with the last time, right? The last time of the American Golden Age, right? But if you look into the SNAP benefits, they were originally, let me see if I can find the actual Wikipedia page. So you'll see that they were created in 1939, guys. That is the year that World War II started. So there's definitely a code here for the World War II. And 1939 was just as we were coming out of the Great Depression, of course, 10 years earlier. But you'll notice right here, the original food stamps. This is the Hunger Games, guys. We should do some decodes on the Hunger Games because it's probably connected to that. The federal government's attempt to address the hunger through the means of food stamps was first introduced in the 1930s after becoming possible when the U.S. Congress passed the income law tax in 1913 after the federal government had the funding to create social safety net. Its involvement in the food assistance was introduced in the 1930s when the Great Depression caused unemployment, homelessness, and starvation to become a national issue. Guys, are we heading back to that? Are we heading back to homelessness? Well, that's already a national issue to begin with. Homelessness. Unemployment, I mean, that's becoming more and more of an issue as AI takes over. And then starvation, once the prices get so inflated, this is what the Great Depression was, okay? And we cannot overlook the fact that we could be heading back to this type of thing. But it just forces people to be more reliant on the government. Please hit the likes if you're just getting in here, guys. I mean, I'm just being real with you. You don't need any numbers to see that this seems like a planned demolition to make the rich richer and the poor poorer, just like it always is. So I just really think that this is what this is about. I mean, the government shutdown, this is going to be the longest government shutdown in history. Trump's other shutdown that happened in 2019 or something like that, when he was president the first time, was also the longest. Donald Trump is here to bring in a new age. He is the resetter. He is he's the moonchild. He's the Saturn setter. You could call him the Antichrist, whatever you want to call him. He is here to reset the system with everything he's doing. He's resetting the economies of the world. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have money placed on your electronic card at some point. It's going to be running off of cryptocurrency technology. Everyone's going to get like probably a allotted amount of money, just like like they did during COVID with the stimulus. It's going to be like socialism, possibly. I don't know, but like whatever's happening, it's not going to be the greatest thing ever. So please get your health right now, because someday we may not be able to get healthy foods again. Okay. And I might have a live stream talking about things we can do to get our health built up before we go into a period of possibly a poor time. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're just going through it now and it's going to come out on the good side, right? But still, you should take care of your health. You should eat well. You should drink well. You should take care of your temple. And that's where it starts. Don't be hurting your temple, people, okay? And people who are treating their bodies right can think clearly and be closer to God without all the other substance that can get in the way of that. So it's really important to care about your health, to take care of your mind, mentally, physically, spiritually, your temple, right? That's why our bodies are a temple, right? You wouldn't leave your temple all dirty and smudgy. You'd rather clean your temple than your house. You should be taking more care of your body than your house. Your physical house you should take care of as well, but your body is your health is your wealth, right? So that's another thing that's really important. But anyway, after going off on that tangent, I just wanted to give an overview of all the stuff that's going on right now with the government shutdown, with the SNAP benefits being not going right now. A lot of people are struggling already with the inflation. So it's really important that we do talk about this. And that's what this channel's about, is to just share information, to share knowledge. And I don't have all the answers, but I can say that we need to take care of ourselves first, our health. And when we can't get the right foods, we can't take care of our health. That's the problem. I'm out here trying to buy healthy foods. Guys, I was trying to buy wild blueberries yesterday that I used to buy before I left the United States 4 years ago. I used to buy these for like $8 or $9 for a huge pack of wild blueberries. And now they're double, right? They're like almost $17 for my wild blueberries. Now, wild blueberries are highly, highly good for you, high in antioxidants. And it's one thing you should incorporate into your diet, wild blueberries, because the antioxidants in wild blueberries are like 5 or 10 times that of like cultured blueberries. So I used to use these all the time, and it really does help your health. Okay. So that's just one thing, but I might have a completely separate stream about foods, right? Because I've spent a lot of years studying health and finding ways to take care of myself. In fact, I just bought toothbrushes that are made of wood, right? So think about this, guys. Back before they even had toothbrushes, there was something called you can use neem sticks, or there's also something in Asia. Forget what they called. Let me pull them up. I'm just giving you guys some examples. Wood. I'm trying to remember what these are called now. Mizwak. Mizwak. I ordered some of these the other day. And so, again, putting these plastic toothbrushes in your mouth, not a good idea, okay? So, this is something that has been used for centuries. You can use neem sticks, you can use Mizwak, but this is something, I'm not saying this completely replaces your brushing, but these do clean your teeth. You actually chew them off, and they actually turn into bristles. So something to look into, not necessarily saying this is a must. Another thing is neem sticks also is another different type of one. And then there's another thing called xylitol, which helps your bacteria in your mouth stay balanced. But I won't get into all this now. I'm just giving you a little overview of what I would like to talk about in the future with more of the health stuff. But anyway, let's get into the actual presentation with the actual numbers and stuff. So this channel, I want it to be more well-rounded. I don't want to just be about numbers. I want it to be about health, wealth, spirituality with God, just trying to stay focused on all these different things. But let's get into the numbers. Thanks for listening to me rant. The only person I have in the chat even commenting is Hupre El Chupacabre. So I don't know what anyone else thinks, but he seems to. Yeah, melons, berries, grapes, all very good. Fruit is good for you. Don't let them lie about the sugar in fruit. As long as you're eating fruit, it's not going to hurt you. It's natural. I mean, there are some fruits that are man-made that are higher in sugar, but still way better than eating a bunch of junk food, no matter what. So again, fruits, to be honest, the less you cook stuff, the better, the more raw foods you eat. I'm not saying go out there and eat a raw steak, but or just eat raw vegetables. Most vegetables you don't want to eat raw, but raw fruit in its natural form is good for you. Dates are good for you, as another person's saying in the chat. But yeah, I love melons. I love honeydew, watermelon, very, very hydrating, good for you. So that's a good recommendation. But anyway, here we go. So last night we had the World Series end with the Dodgers of LA winning their second championship in a row. Yeah, and somebody's saying not only fruit. No, you don't want to just eat only fruit. You want to have a well-rounded diet. But I'm just saying fruit is very alkalizing, very good for the body. You don't want to reject it like it's something bad because it has sugar. The sugar in fruit is not bad because it comes with the water, it comes with the minerals. It's different from drinking a glass of sugar water out of a can like soda. Don't drink soda. If you want to be healthy, don't drink soda, okay? That's the first point. All right. So anyway, the Dodgers won the World Series, right? For the second year in a row. And they did so by beating the Toronto Blue Jays, right? And the final score was 5-4, right? And this is just a joke because anyone who knows gematria, which is the practice of coding letters into numbers, right? A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. And then you have the 4 base ciphers. Plus you have the Satanic, the Jewish, a couple other ciphers that I normally use. But anyway, baseball has a 2 out of the 4 base ciphers. Baseball equals 54. So the game finished 5-4. Like baseball equals 54. Okay. Now that's just the beginning, right? So why is this decode titled "The Last Time Is Now"? And why do I have Revelation? Okay, this is all about Revelation, guys. This is all about the last book of the Bible, having a revelation, right? Like John. Okay, we're going to talk about John Cena. John had the revelation in the book of, John of Patmos. So anyway, the Dodgers defeated the Toronto Blue Jays in a 7 games to win the 121st World Series from October 24th to November 1st. So it ended on the Day of the Dead in Mexico. It's called the Day of the Dead. And it was the 121st World Series, right? And this tells us already what we're going to be talking about, because in gematria, Revelation equals 121, like Blue Jays. Now, the Blue Jays are the ones who lost, right? And of course, it was the Blue Jays, the only team in the whole MLB that have the gematria of 121, and they made it to the 121st World Series and lost in a revelation riddle, which equals 121. Now, the game ended in the 11th inning. It went to extra innings because there's 9 innings, and it went to 11, okay? 9-11, right? Then normally there's 9 innings, but it went to 11 innings. So you got your 9-11 riddle. Now, also, the game ended in the 11th. That means 11 times 11 is 121, like it was the 121st World Series. How perfect. Okay? But here's where we get the real. I want you guys to watch the game-ending play. All right, so you guys saw it, right? Let me play it one more time. Let me play it one more time. Watch the broken bat. All right, so this is the last play of the game. This is how the Blue Jays, these are the Blue Jays right here. This is the Dodgers. The Dodgers won. The Blue Jay batter, guys, I'll give you one guess what the name of the last batter to get the last out and to lose the series for the Blue Jays. Guess what his last name was? Is there anyone in the chat want to share that before I say it? What was the name of the batter who lost the Blue Jays the World Series on the last hit? The last guy to swing the bat of the whole season. I mean, what are the chances of this, guys? His last name was Kirk. The guy who swung the bat on the last total at bat of the entire MLB season was named Kirk. Are you kidding me? After everything, I don't think people are understanding how crazy this is, because out of everything that happened this year, what was the biggest story? It was Charlie Kirk. And the guy who swung the bat to end the season, who lost the game for the Blue Jays, his name is Kirk, guys. See, you see how his bat broke? Watch his bat. Watch his bat break. This is magic, right? How did they get this bat to break? Now, because his bat broke, whoops. Watch it one more time. It keeps stopping it here. Hold on. I want to stop the actual thing. Hold on. One more time. Yeah, he's Mexican because it was the Mexican Day of the Dead yesterday. Okay, so this is the point, guys. And here's the end. Here's Kirk. He gets thrown out on a double play to lose. So the last thing you see in the entire season is you see these two guys, right? The guy who catches the ball to end the game and the guy who hit Kirk, who gets out to lose, right? What do you think this guy's name is? So these are the last two guys you see in the entire MLB season. The one's name is Kirk, and who's this guy? Yeah, guys, his name is Freddie Charles Freeman. Are you kidding me? So the last two guys who were involved in a play in this season was Charles Freeman and Kirk. Guys, what does Charles mean? Charles means free man. As Ball Don't Lie and I have been pointing out for the last month or two, Charles means Freeman. So the guy who caught and won the game for the Dodgers, his name is Freddie Charles Freeman, and Charles means free man. So his name is like Freddie Freeman Freeman. And he's catching the ball to win, and the guy he's catching it against is Kirk, the church. Remember, Kirk means church. Remember, it's all about the Revelation church in the Bible. Remember how in the Bible he writes, this was in Game 7, right? In the Bible, in Revelation, there's 7 letters to the 7 churches, right? Remember, I told you this whole World Series is about Revelation. It was the 121st World Series. Revelation equals 121. The Blue Jays lost, which equals 121. It was Game 7, the last game. There's 7 churches. Okay. And the last guy who hits out is Kirk, and Kirk means church, right? Well, look at this. The pitcher. So here's the pitcher right here, right? This guy. He's the one who got the MVP and won the game for them by pitching the last batter out, right? He's Japanese. His name is Yamamoto. And guess how old he was when he won the game and became MVP in the Revelation series. Look at this. Guess how old he was? He was 27 years old and 77 days. Guys, if we make this into a number, 2777. 2777 is the 404th prime number. So that's how old he was. What does 404 mean? Look at this. The book of Revelation has 404 verses. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Not only did this World Series line up perfectly with the 121's World Series like Revelation, the guy who won the series and got the MVP, he was 2777 old, which is the 404, which is how many verses are in the book of Revelation. I mean, come on. I need some mind blows in the chat for that. Please hit those likes, guys. I'm telling you, this stuff is undeniable. Like, this is what this was all about, right? It's this guy right here too. Japanese Yamamoto. And remember, I just did a stream the other day talking about Yama. I was talking about Wembanyama. Who was here for my live stream about Wembanyama? And who hit the game-winning home run to win the Dodgers the series? His name was Will Smith. And who starred in Independence Day? My last deco was just about Independence Day and Yama. And the World Series featured Will Smith, who was in Independence Day, not the real Will Smith. It was a player named Will Smith. And the winning pitcher is Yamamoto. I just talked about these two subjects and had no idea that these two guys were going to be involved in this World Series a few days later. And and yeah, the 404, excuse me on the cough, the 404 is the error code. If you like log into a page, it gives you the 404 error code. Okay, so here's the big one, right? Again, watching the play, Kirk gets out, Freeman is celebrating, right? He's free, right? Let me play this again. It's hard to get this right. I shouldn't have done it like this. I'm going to try to stop it right where I want it here. Yeah, never mind. We'll the point is, I showed you guys that Kirk, right? Kirk got the final out. I don't want to do that, man. Why is it so? So here's Kirk, and the guy who got the final out was Freddie Freeman. I'm telling you guys, this whole riddle is about freeing the church. The whole thing. Ever since Charlie Kirk got shot, it's been all about freeing the church. Jesus Christ died to free the church. In Revelation, he comes back for his church. That's why it's Kirk, which means church, and Freeman, free the church. This is the same thing I've been talking about for 2 months. Right? And this is how the World Series ends. Does this not prove that we've been talking about the same thing, and then this just happens to be how it ends? Now look at this. The game, again, Kirk means church. Charles Freeman catches it to beat Kirk, right? To win it. Charles means free man, so his name is Freddie Freeman. Charles Kirk, right? Now this game ended in the early morning hours in Toronto of November 2nd. Now, it was on the Day of the Dead, 11/1. And also, don't overlook this. The guy who, Kirk, is actually Mexican. And the reason they made him Mexican is because this happened on the Day of the Dead in Mexico. And who's supposedly dead, right? Who's probably not really dead? Charlie Kirk. So it was a reference to Charlie Kirk being the Day of the Dead, right? But the game ended in the early morning hours of November 2nd because it went late. So if you go from the day that Charlie Kirk was shot to the very end, on the day it ended in Toronto, where the game was, it was 54 days. Look, from September 10th when he was shot to the game ending was 54 days. What was the final score, guys? The score was 5-4, like 54. Are you kidding me? 54 days. That's why it ended on November 2nd, because it needed to go late so it could end 54 days after Kirk was shot with a final score of 5-4. Right? How crazy is that? And it ends with Kirk getting out to Freeman. Like, it's just how... See, these videos should go as viral as my videos from September, because this is just a continuation. I can't believe no one's batting an eye that the last guy to bat in the World Series was Kirk. After everything that happened this year with Charlie Kirk, it just so happens that the guy who gets the last out of the entire MLB season is named Kirk, out of all people. It's just undeniable. I'm sorry I'm getting so animated, but this is the kind of stuff that just boggles my mind, that the whole world can look at this and say, wait, didn't we just have a whole thing with Charlie Kirk this year? And look at this guy. His name's Kirk, and he just happens to get out as the last play of the World Series. Doesn't that make people think something? Doesn't that make people think about something different? Like, what's going on here? Like, it's not what I don't know how people can look at. How can if you could see the Toronto Blue Jays fans getting all upset that they lost when instead they should be looking, what's going on with Kirk? Didn't we just have Charlie Kirk get shot? Oh yeah, and now the last guy is Kirk? Huh. And this is 54 days after Kirk was shot, and the final score ended up being 5-4? Not to mention the guy who got him out was Charles. His name is Charles Freeman. It's just crazy. Like, I hate to get so animated, but it boggles my mind. It just boggles my mind. You know how many baseball players are in the MLB? Thousands. Thousands of MLB players, and the one who ended the season is Kirk, of course. Now, it's been a while. Excuse me. It's been a while since I've done a good WWE decode. Well, if you guys don't know, WWE is completely tied. WWE is completely tied with the sports world, right? The ESPN just picked up the WWE as their new thing, right? So what was happening last night? What was happening last night when the Dodgers won the World Series, okay? And I told people before the game, watch for this. Last night in WWE, when the last game of the World Series was taking place, there was a WWE event going on called Saturday Night's Main Event. And guess where it was, guys? Guess where it was? It was in Utah. Do you know how many times WWE goes to Utah in a year? It might be like one time out of the whole year that I ever remember them going to Utah. And the match going on last night while the World Series, like why Kirk is getting thrown out to lose, it's in Utah where Charlie Kirk was shot. It's in Utah. That's the one state that you would never, I don't think they've been in Utah all year. Like, really, I don't think they've been in Utah all year until just yesterday. And what was the match going on? The match for the championship was CM Punk from Chicago. Where was Charlie Kirk from? Chicago. Kirk gets out on the last play, and the same night, the WWE is in Utah, where the guy who headlines the show is from Chicago. Like Charlie Kirk was from Chicago and died in Utah. Okay? And who lost? He won the match, guys, the guy from Chicago. And who did he beat? He beat Jey Uso. Just like the Dodgers, who won, beat the Blue Jays. I told people before this happened, if Jey Uso loses, because the match was over before the World Series was over, I said, if Jey Uso loses, the Blue Jays are going to lose in heartbreaking fashion. And guess what happened? Jey Uso lost in heartbreaking fashion, and then the Blue Jays lost in heartbreaking fashion. Now, here's the big point. This is all connected to the end of days. John Cena, the other famous wrestler. All right? The show that was happening last night was called Saturday Night's Main Event. Okay? They're going to have another Saturday Night's Main Event in December 13th. And guess what this event's going to be, guys? It's going to be John Cena's last match. Yes, you heard that right. John Cena, the most famous and the most prolific wrestler of all time. He's considered the greatest of all time now because he has the most championships. It's going to be his last match. So Saturday Night Main Event was on the day of the World Series, and the next one is going to be John Cena's final match. It's going to be 42 days after the World Series ended and this match with Jey Uso and CM Punk. 42 days, guys. Now look at the sponsor for the World Series. It was Capital One, their sponsor, their one and only sponsor, Capital One. Where is John Cena's farewell match going to take place? Yes, you guessed it. In Capital One Arena in D.C. What are the chances of that? Saturday Night Main Event on the last night of the World Series, which is sponsored by Capital One, and then 42 days later, John Cena's final match in Capital One Arena. 42. Why 42? Because Capital One equals 42. Wow. And this is the kicker. Guess what number main event? Remember, there's been many of these Saturday Night Main Events. Guess what number main event this is? This is WWE's 42nd Saturday Night Main Event. Are you kidding me? So 42 days before the 42nd main event where John Cena is going to have his last match in Capital One Arena, which equals 42, CM Punk from Chicago, like Charlie Kirk, wins and beats Jay, like the Dodgers beat the Jays. I mean, this is just too perfect. Now, notice that this is called Saturday nights. This is all happening on a Saturday. Why is that so important, guys? You guys have to know your gematria for this part. Saturn equals 42. There you go. Saturn equals 42. This is all about Saturday. The Capital One logo is Saturn. You see all the logos are Saturn. So it's 42 days between the two Saturday night main events. With the Capital One logo in Capital One Arena, it's all about Saturn. Saturn equals 42. Saturn, Satan. Very connected. But what's the point here? Saturn is the god. In the book of Revelation, the beast rules for 42 months. Okay? The beast for 42 months in the Bible. So, this is all about John Cena. It's all about John Cena's last match. And I've been talking about this for a year and a half because John Cena is famous for wearing a baseball cap. You guys get it? John Cena is literally famous for wearing baseball caps. Right? This is his attire, his whole career. Never stopped wearing a baseball cap. Not once. And baseball is one of the most Masonic, if not the most Masonic and symbolic sport. But yeah, so John Cena's famous for the baseball cap, right? And this whole World Series was connected to his last match, which is all about the last time is now. And if you guys were wondering, well, how does John Cena connect to the World Series with the 54? The final score was 5-4. Well, earlier this year, on John Cena's farewell tour, when he went to his home state of Massachusetts, look at his attire for his home state of Massachusetts. The last time is now. The last time is now is Revelation, guys. His name is John because John wrote the book of Revelation. His phrase for his end of his career is called the last time is now. That is literally like saying the last time is now is Revelation. But when he went home earlier this year, right after Charlie Kirk was shot in September, John Cena went to Massachusetts, where he's from, and the number that he was wearing was 54. Wow. Why this specific number? I just told you how the whole game last night was connected to John Cena's match. When he went home, he never shows the number 54 ever. But when he went home, he showed the 54. Well, this connects to the Jesuit order, which equals 54. The Jesuits, Jesus, right? JC, John Cena, Jesus Christ, JC, John Cena. In fact, let me show you how Jesus Christ equals John Cena, okay? Let me just get you that real fast, just so you guys are not confused as what I mean. Not only does he have the same initials, this is literally it, guys. John Cena equals Jesus Christ, okay? JC. So why did he have the 54? Well, of all numbers, like the World Series ended 5-4. Well, look at this. In a detail typical of John Cena's retirement tour, providing callbacks to his life, Cena mentioned in his promo he played football, like another sport, at Springfield College. Springfield reminds me of The Simpsons. It was revealed that 54 was his number in his short-lived college football career. It was a chapter of Cena's biography that many fans were unaware of. So Cena's number in his one sport that he played was 54, of course. Now, here's the point, guys. The Blue Jays lost 5-4. 42 days before John Cena's last match in Capital One Arena, which is 42. Like Saturn is 42. Saturn is the logo for Capital One. But what's up with the 54? Right? John Cena's number. Well, how many days did look at this. How many days did the Dodgers win the World Series before Christmas? Look at this. Look at that. All of this happened yesterday, 54 days before Christmas. You guys get it now? JC, we know Christmas isn't the real birthday of Jesus, but this is the one they give us, and this is the ritual day. It's 54 days before Christmas. This all happened. And the final score was 5-4, right? And John Cena in his hometown his number is 54. And John Cena's retirement match will be on the 13th. It will be on Taylor Swift's birthday. How about that? John Cena's final match in Washington, D.C. on Taylor Swift's birthday, one day before the anniversary of George Washington dying. Like the first president. His last match is going to be in D.C. Notice the colors he's wearing for his home tour. It was red, white, and there's some blue there. Like, he's a big American guy, right? John Cena. Saluting the troops. He always went to the troops, right? He's all about America. So, yeah, 54 days before Christmas, right? Now, remember, I told you that last night, yeah, Charles equals 42 too. Thank you, Joseph. That's another good point. This has all been about Charles this year. Charles also equals 42, like Saturn. Notice that Charles equals 30, and the guy who got out the last time in the game was Kirk, who wore number 30, okay? But yeah, the 42 is important because Saturn 42, the Beast reigns for 42. Look at this. The last time equals 42. The guy who got the last out and became the MVP was from Japan, equals 42. Okay? And remember, the most famous player on the Dodgers is Shohei Ohtani from Japan. Trump was just in Japan while the World Series was going on talking about Fords. Big shout out to Rambo from the Truth Codes, who's been talking all about Fords. But yeah, Japan was the huge connection to the World Series was Japan, which equals 42. Iran equals 42 as well. War, I should mention that. War equals 42. Jesuit 42. Thank you, Joseph. Saturn 42. Charles 42. The last time 42. And that's what John Cena says. He says the last time is now, right? That's what his shirt says. The last time 42. So remember last night on the Saturday Night Main Event during the World Series, the guy from Chicago in Utah, like Charlie Kirk from Chicago died in Utah, he beat Jay, right? Jay Uso, like the Blue Jays lost, right? So it's perfect. I knew as soon as Jay Uso lost that the Blue Jays were going to lose. And that was before the Blue Jays lost, okay? I knew the Dodgers were going to come back and win this game because Jay Uso lost. It meant the Blue Jays were going to lose, right? Now, who won? CM Punk. They call him the Second City Saint. He's from Chicago. Now, this is a symbol of Obama. Why? Because CM Punk is a symbol of Chicago. Obama, based out of Chicago. Charlie Kirk was from Chicago. But CM Punk is the huge connection here. So this is the mind-blowing part, guys. Yesterday, when CM Punk won the title against Jay and the Dodgers won against the Blue Jays, how old was CM Punk yesterday? Look at this. This is how many days old CM Punk was yesterday when he won the title, when the Blue Jays lost to the Dodgers. Look how old. 17173 days. Guys, that is the 54th star number. A star number is very hard to land on. What is a star number? I got my Miss Wax stick up. Whoop. Sorry, guys. What is a star number? It's a number built out of dots that make up a star. And I've talked about these numbers before, like the Star of David, right? And what is CM Punk's symbol? CM Punk star. CM Punk's symbol is a star. One of his symbols, one of his main symbols, and it's the Chicago star. Yeah, Joseph, I started out by saying that baseball equals 54, and the score was 5-4. CM Punk has the star. Now, how old was he yesterday? Let's just do this so you guys can see it. Let's measure from the birth of CM Punk, just so you guys can see it in real time. 1978. He was born on Back to the Future Travel Day, by the way. So this is all about Back to the Future as well. But look at this. On the day that he won the championship and the Dodgers won the World Series, he was this amount of days, right? From his birth to yesterday. 17173. That's the 54th star number, guys. That is so wild. If I would have looked at that before, I would have said, wow, I could have probably predicted the score would be 5-4. That's what the final score was. 5-4. And it represents the star numbers, which is CM Punk's big thing. This is his logo from years ago. The Chicago Stars. Yeah, a standard, thank you, Joseph, again, a standard 9-inning baseball game has 54 outs. Yeah, takes 54 outs. That means Charlie Kirk, or the Kirk batter, well, he wasn't the 54th out because it went longer, but he would have been if it was the last batter of the ninth. But yeah, this is all about the star. And notice he's doing the X, right? The X represents the Chiro, Chicago, right? Chiro, watch. So the Chiro, this is what I'm trying to get at. His name is CM Punk with a P, right? He does the X, and he stands behind his X, right? Let me just bring him up again so you guys can compare what I'm saying here. CM Punk, X, gesture. Like this is a good example right here, okay? So this is what he does. Here's your X, here's your P. His head represents your P, right? Look, your X and your P, your head. XP, Chiro, Chicago. You guys get it now? Chiro is Chicago. P and X. Here's him making the X with the P as his head. This is literally him representing the Chiro. I'm telling you. Absolutely. And what's the Chiro? Well, the Chiro is the earliest Christogram, which again goes back to Christian Kirk. And yes, MLB equals 54. So you guys see how baseball equals 54 in two ciphers? Baseball 54, 54. The guy who got the last out of the World Series, the pitcher was number 18. This is like IHS, which is Isus Hominum Salvator, which is the Jesuit logo, is 18 in the same cipher. You see? The last pitcher. Notice how Dodgers equals 36 in two ciphers like IHS, but love is also 18 and 18 like IHS. Jesus was all about loving your neighbor, right? We're talking about the Society of Jesus. But yeah, the last guy to get the out was number 18. Look at him, right? What's his number? There he is, right there. Number 18, just like IHS, 18, baseball 18. But the 54 MLB, which is what they shorten this to, MLB equals 54 and 18. You see that? You see how MLB equals that? So look at all the overlap. Baseball, 54 and 18. MLB, which is the shortened version, 54 and 18. Love, 54 and 18, right? This is all about love. It goes back to Venus, too. Venus, the planet of love. There's a whole Venus riddle here. Yeah, it was the Day of the Dead. I already talked about that. It was the Dia de los Muertos. And notice that the name Dia de los Muertos has the loss in it. Day of the Dead. This game was on the Day of the Dead, and Charlie Kirk was dead this year, you know, like supposedly. Look, it can be celebrated on November 6th, guys. November 6th. Whose birthday is November 6th? Look at this. Alejandro Kirk. The guy who got the last out of the series is Alejandro Kirk, who's born in Mexico. And he's born November 6th, the Day of the Dead. Wow. I didn't catch this. Wow. So they celebrate the Day of the Dead also on November 6th. So this is why his birthday was November 6th. And he's Mexican. He's Mexican. Like the Day of the Dead is all about Mexico. This is why the Charlie Kirk thing got connected to Mexico, because it's all about the Day of the Dead. Okay? The dead. It began 18 days after Kirk's birthday. That's a good one. So the game began 18 days after Kirk's birthday and ended 54 days after he was shot, like baseball. Look at this. 18 days after his birthday. Let me just show you. His birthday was October 14th. So the game started 18 days after his birthday and ended 54 days after he was shot on November 2nd. Wow. And that's the gematria of MLB, 54-18, baseball, 54-18. The score was 54, 5-4 with number 18 getting the MVP. Wow. Perfect. This is crazy, man. So we need to go back to CM Punk, because remember, CM Punk is from Chicago. He was 54 star days old yesterday when he won the championship, when the Dodgers won 5-4. But here's the big connection. CM Punk and John Cena. These two guys have a absolutely huge rivalry. Okay? In fact, here's John Cena and CM Punk earlier this year, when John Cena was still champion. And so these guys are super connected. Why did CM Punk win last night? And then why is it going to be that 42 days later, John Cena's The Last Time Is Now match is going to happen in DC, right? After 42 days after CM Punk. Because these guys are arch rivals. Okay? And again, this year they fought. Their last time match was on June 28th. That was going to be their final match. It was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. John Cena won. But then Cody Rhodes beat him. Cody Rhodes beat John Cena. Cody Rhodes, I could talk about him too, but we'll leave that. But so the point is, these two are connected, right? Cena and Punk. Now I need to give a big shout out to this channel, The Painting One. Okay. Now, guys, I've been following his channel for a long time, and he does paintings of the future. And to be honest with you, when I saw this, I was really blown away, because just a few days ago, he did a painting of poop. Now, this is going to go a little bit of a weird way here, but just wait for it, guys. Wait for this. He drew a picture of poop a few days ago. You can see it on his YouTube. Okay? Now, a few days after he drew a picture of poop, CM Punk, who's known for poop, wins the championship. Look at this. This is his slide from his channel, the painting one. Go give him a sub because, wow, this is crazy. And he found this. Look. There is a video on WWE's YouTube of CM Punk signing a sign from a little girl that says CM Poop. Now, why did they have the sign? Because CM Punk has a famous time where he pooped his pants in the ring. And in this series that just released this year called Unreal, get it, guys? Unreal, it's not real. CM Punk says he pooped himself. And he asked someone else she asked Charlotte Flair, another wrestler, if she had ever pooped herself in the ring. Now, this is how you know it's coded, guys. Look at the gematria of CM Punk and CM Poop. Look at the matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ciphers. CM Punk equals CM Poop. What? And this guy just a few days ago drew a poop, and he said he draws these things and says that they're going to come true, and then it came true. Like, this guy wins the championship all about poop. And this is what blew my mind, guys. Just before I watched his video, I did a date measurement between CM Punk's birth and John Cena's birth. Okay, I did a date measurement between these two guys, right? And it came out to be 551 days. So then I watched his video, and I was like, wait, let me see when WWE posted this video about CM Poop. Guys, look at this. Are you kidding me? All because of this guy's video about poop. I didn't even know any of this. And I measured from John Cena to CM Punk's birth. It's 551 days. And look how many days CM Punk won the championship after his poop video. 551 days. What? Are you kidding me? Guys, this is organic. This is I didn't know this guy was going to do this video about him pooping. I didn't know anything about CM Punk and his poop connection. I didn't know. And I had made the date measurement from John Cena to Punk because I've been talking about John Cena and Punk this whole video. They were born 551 days apart. That's the amount of time it took from his poop video to him winning the championship. And look at the gematria of championship. It equals 551. And this is the same night that Shohei Ohtani from Japan won back-to-back with the Dodgers. Look at the gematria of Shohei Ohtani. 551, like championship, like back-to-back. That was 550. This is crazy. You guys got to understand how crazy that is, because this is another YouTuber doing another completely separate video, and it lined up perfectly with everything. It's organic poop. Guys, I think I'm going to dedicate my whole channel to talking about poop now, because it's a revelation of poop. Like, what is going on here? And you know what poop is, right? It's a fertilizer. It fertilizes, right? Poop is important. Why? Because poop, we would not have nutrients in our food without poop. So this goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, how we stay healthy. We need to fertilize the soil, guys. We need to build anew. We need to have poop in the soil. Okay? So from now on, we're going to recognize poop on this channel, okay? Because it's important. How would we grow anything without poop? Have you guys ever had gardens? My mom does. If you want to grow stuff, you need fertilizer. You need poop, okay? I just like saying the word poop. But think about it. The word, I just can't believe that CM Punk equals CM Poop. And this is literally what WWE posted, CM Poop. And it took 551 days for him to win, which is the gematria of championship. And again, John Cena, born 551 days before Punk. Like, oh, I can't believe this, guys. This is wild beyond everyone's wildest dreams, okay? And I love that it's about poop because it's not even a serious subject, but it kind of is. So yeah, there we go. That's my that's my crescendo of the whole. But big shout out to him, because without his video, without him drawing this poop on his channel, I mean, just go back and watch it, guys. A few days ago, he drew this video and said poop and watch out for poop in the news. And then this happened. He's done this before. This is not the first time that this guy's drawn something and it came to life. I'm telling you. So, and then like it lines up perfectly, right? So I think this means, what's the gist of this? I think it means that it's all about fertilizing the soil, right? Regrowing. Because you need fertilizer. You need this to regrow your soil, to grow things, right? The dead, right? This all happened on the Day of the Dead. All the dead stuff that you poop out, it becomes this smelly, sickening thing. And then what grows out of that is something new, right? A resurrection. Jesus was buried in the dirt, right? And he rose from the dead. I told you this is all about the Chiro. CM Punk does the Chiro, which is Chicago, which represents the Christogram, right? The Christos, but the XP, right? And this connects back to XRP, the cryptocurrency. I'm telling you, it all goes back to that XRP, because you have the X, you have the rho, and you have the P. XRP, literally right there. So maybe that's a clue, since CM Punk won. You know, maybe that's a clue that XRP is going to have something's going to happen soon with that. So I don't know, but yeah, the Day of the Dead is really also about flowers, right? Like it's almost like this same concept. It's the dead with new things growing on them. You see the dead with the flowers, like the dirt. You're in the dead, you're in the dirt, and then you have flowers growing. So this all happened on the Day of the Dead for a reason, okay? So yeah, I mean that's just I don't know what else to say right now. I'm still shocked by all the poop stuff. Okay, so I saw that we have Wes in the chat. So look at this, Wes. John Cena's last match will be on December 13th. So Wes has been talking about how important the number 70 is, because Pope Francis died on numerology day of 70. Well, John Cena's final match is on 70 date numerology. Well, John Cena equals 70, right? Watch this. Cena equals 70 like Francis. You see the gematria match between John Cena and Francis? And John Cena won the world championship this year, one day before Francis died. But the 70 is important because Vatican also equals 70. J.D. Vance, remember, this is all about the killing moon in the 70. If you guys have seen my killing moon, but look at this. If you type in 70, John Cena is known for wearing a baseball cap, or you could call it a baseball hat. What's the chance that John Cena equals 70 and he's famous for wearing a baseball hat, which equals 70, and baseball cap equals 70? And his last match is on 70 date numerology. So that's wild. And remember, when Pope Francis died, he died on the same numerology. It's going to be 7 months and 22 days. Look at this, like pi. It's going to be 7 months and 22 days from Francis' death to John Cena's last match. Both of them on 70. See the 34 here? The 34 numerology as well on both days, just like John Cena. Look, John Cena equals 70 and 34. Like Francis. Or not like Francis. Yeah, like Francis. Look, Francis 70-34, John Cena 70-34. And both these days have 70-34 numerology. They're exactly 8 moons apart. But the next day we need to be watching is King Charles' birthday. Why? And make sure you guys go check out Wes's channel too. He's been talking about November 6th. Remember, Alejandro Kirk, which is when they celebrate the Day of the Dead. So watch out for November 6th. The Day of the Dead can be celebrated on November 6th. Now, the guy who got the final out in the baseball game, right? Let's watch it one more time. The guy who got the final out, right? Alejandro Kirk from Mexico, Day of the Dead. He got the final out. Don't forget, Francis means free man also. Like Charles means free man. This guy's name is Freeman, right? His last name. But yeah, the Day of the Dead, November 6th, is Alejandro Kirk's birthday. So this guy is important because he is the guy who got the last out, and he has that birthday, November 6th. So November 6th, a big day to watch. Trump won the election officially on November 6th last year. Also, November 14th is 7 moons, 0 days after Pope Francis died, and it's 70-date numerology, like he died on 70-date numerology. And it's King Charles' birthday, guys. You know how big the Charles has been. King Charles' birthday looks like it could be interesting this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see a celebrity death around this time. Connected to that. But yeah, so going back to Capital One. Trump had his inauguration in Capital One Arena. John Cena's final match is in Capital One Arena. Capital One is all about the capital of the United States, right? The United States of America. John Cena is all about patriotism. John Cena, patriotism. And don't forget, John Cena is from Boston area, where Tom Brady and the Patriots were. So Tom Brady, right, the famous football player, but you have John Cena being from that same area. But yeah, John Cena with the troops. He's often with the troops. You see? So this whole thing is about America. This whole thing is about America and, you know, this whole patriotic thing. So this leads me to the big reveal. Okay, guys, to end this video, I'm going to give you the biggest thing, the biggest day of the year that I'm looking for right now. And I'm only going to give you this one connection. I'm going to do a whole video about this later. But I want you guys to hold on to your hats here. Okay. So if we go from the founding date of the United States of America, July 4th, 1776. Okay, July 4th, 1776. Hold on to your hats, guys. Please stay around for this one and share this with everyone you can because this is crazy. Okay, the big reveal, it's huge. I'm telling you. I'm not saying anything's going to happen on this day, but I wouldn't be surprised if something does. But look at this. If you go to December 7th, 2025, from the founding of the United States, it's 9/11/01 days. And this is a big, so I want you guys to let that sink in for a second. From the founding of the United States to December 7th. Now, December 7th is 127. On 9/11/01, buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell. So 9/11/01 days after the founding of the United States lands on 127, like the buildings. Now, this is also Pearl Harbor Day, when the United States was attacked by Japan. You guys get all the Japan stuff that's been going on with the World Series? It's 9/11/01 days from the United States to December 7th. Now, let us take a measurement from John Cena's birth, the Mr. Patriotic, to the same day, December 7th. Let me show you what I mean. Look at this. From John Cena's birthday, 4/23, 1977. It's 1776 days. John Cena will be 1776 days when the United States is 9/11/01 days. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is the biggest thing I've ever found. I'm telling you, that is crazy. And then he's going to have his retirement match days later in DC. Remember, John Cena the Patriot. He's going to have his retirement match 6 days later after this. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days later. And look how old he will be on his retirement match. 1776. What? Guys, I don't think, let me know if that sinks in, if that's crazy. We're talking about the guy who's retiring, who's the Patriot. He's going to be 1776 days old when the United States is 9/11/01 days old on Pearl Harbor Day, which is 127, and the buildings on 9/11/01 were 1, 2, and 7, and they called it the New Pearl Harbor, and it's Pearl Harbor Day, and John Cena is always with the troops in his career. I'm telling you. You guys better share this. I don't know if, I don't care if you have a video. If you only have a channel with like, I don't care if you only have 10 subscribers. Do a quick video about it. Say, hey, look at this. Look at this guy, John Cena, the American Patriot. Tribute to the troops. He's always doing this. The guy with the American baseball cap always. Now, what does Cena mean in Slovenian? Remember, this is the big point, guys. Slovenian is the wife of Trump is Slovenian. Look at this. If you type in Cena in English, watch what this means. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I meant to type in something else. Cena in Slovenian. You guys see? You guys understand what I'm getting at here? Cena means the price. The price you have to pay. The last time is now, guys. The prices you have to pay. Jesus paid the price. Cena means the price. The markets. Guys, get ready for a huge economic twist up. I'm telling you, it's coming. The last time is now. John Cena is going to be 1776 days old in Capital One Arena. What's Capital One, guys? It's a credit card, financial service. Capital One. Now, the price, John Cena means the price. All right. The prices are going up. Inflation. The last time is now, guys. I'm telling you. The last time is truly now. Things are about ready to get really crazy. Now, remember, we measured from the founding of the United States to December 7th. If we go back to there again, 1776, and we measure to John Cena's retirement match, it's 9/11/07, like 9/11/2007. But what do we do if we go to the end of 2025, from the founding of the United States, if we go to the last day of 2025? Look at this. The last day of 2025 is 9/11/25 days after the founding of the United States. Or if you add the day, 9/11/26. This is to the last day of 2025. And from the founding of the United States, it's 9/11/25. What happened on 9/11/2025? Charlie Kirk's shooter was captured after 33 hours. The last day of the year codes the date of the capture of the shooter, supposed shooter of Charlie Kirk. And the first day of 2026 is 9/11, 26 days after the United States was born, pointing us maybe to 9/11, 2026. Are you guys getting this? You guys getting how crazy this is? The very first, this is a transition, guys. Why are they calling it the last time is now? Because it's about ready to change. You're going to go from 9/11, 2025 at the last day of 2025, and then you're going to change to 9/11, 26 on the last day of the year. This is a transition. Look at the date numerology of the last day of the year this year. 88. Guys, that's huge. The last day of the year has 88 date numerology. Why is that important? Because 88 represents time travel, right? So everything I'm showing you here points to something coming to us, transitioning from this end of this year into next year. Something is coming, guys. Charlie Kirk's thing is going to look like nothing compared to what's coming, okay? I don't know if it's going to be World War. I don't know if it's going to be a Great Depression, a stock market crash, the Antichrist being revealed, atomic bomb going off. I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm telling you that they're telling us the last time is now for a reason, okay? I've been talking about this for a year and a half now, but the reason they're telling you it's the last time is now, why do you think he's just holding up this thing every time he comes out, okay? They're telling you, remember, WWE told us the Twin Towers would go down. Remember when Hulk Hogan said the Twin Towers are going to come crumbling down? That was the most famous wrestler of the time. John Cena is the most famous wrestler of our time, and he's telling us the last time is now, so we better take it seriously, okay? I'm just telling you. When Hulk Hogan said the Twin Towers are going to come crumbling down, no one took it seriously probably, but you should have. And when John Cena is telling you this, you probably should, okay? So just be prepared. I'm not saying be scared. I'm saying be prepared. Get your body right. Eat healthy now while you still have a chance to buy healthy food, because they're going to take away healthy food from us probably and feed us slop, okay? That's important. And I'm not saying we need to prolong our life because our lives are going to end anyway, but I'm just saying it's good to at least be somewhat healthy while you're living, right? While you still have the time to live and be healthy, you might as well do it. So again, wild blueberries, very important for antioxidants. They're expensive now, but you know, if you buy these and have some of these wild blueberries every day, they clear out the heavy metals. They clear out your system of toxic chemicals. The antioxidants help your cells function. Wild blueberries. I told you, stop brushing with plastic toothpaste and horrible toothpaste. You can get a Miswax stick. Doesn't mean you brush every time with this, because I don't think this is sufficient enough to brush every time. But I'm telling you, these have been used for thousands of years to keep oral health. Oral health is important. I know that specifically. Eating lots of fruits. Not eating junk. No more dry foods like chips, and don't drink soda for sure. Stop drinking soda. Don't drink alcohol for sure. It just destroys your liver. You know, guys, again, I'm not saying this to be on a high horse or anything, but I have never been drunk my entire life. I'm not saying you should listen to me because of that, but I'm just saying that my whole life I've turned down drugs and alcohol. I have never wanted to even touch those things, and I feel clear-minded because of it, okay? I don't even drink coffee, guys. All my energy comes from within, from Jesus. I don't drink coffee. I don't take any supplements to give me energy. I don't drink tea. I have plenty of energy. You know, I do sleep well. But what I'm saying is stay away from drugs, alcohol. They give you these things to make you get addicted to them. I'm not saying it's wrong to have addiction. I know people struggle with it. My father struggles with it. My uncle struggled with it. But I made a promise to myself as a young kid. I don't want to be like that. And I learned from that and said, no. Why do I even want to smoke something? Why do I want to inhale smoke? It doesn't make sense to me. If you want to get marijuana in you, you might as well just chew a gummy or something if you really need that. But why smoke it? Why do you need to drink alcohol, which completely destroys your liver? Alcohol doesn't even taste good, guys. Like, I do not like drinking something that doesn't taste good. Sorry. Just because it gets me drunk, I don't need to get drunk. I already feel drunk on life most of the time. I'm already a happy person. Like, I'm not better because of this, but I'm just saying that the world is a happy place. If you know where to look, you don't need those things necessarily. But I understand that the world has pushed those things to people, and people get addicted to them because they feel helpless and they need something to run to. But run to God, just don't do that. Like that's all I'm saying. Like, it's just, I hate what they've done to this world. And I hate that our bodies are supposed to be temples, truly, and they don't get treated like it. So, but yeah, I don't know why I've got Ms. Wax stick up, but this stream has gone so many different directions. I'm sorry. But make sure you guys go check out Derek's post from Gematria. Go on gematrianator.com and click his blog and read his thing on the World Series. He talked about Revelation and Jesus as well. You see, the 121st World Series. Revelation equals 844 in Hebrew. The two guys that collided at the end of the game were 8 and 44, like Revelation. Wow. So yeah, make sure you guys go check out his post. The guy who won the game, Will Smith, equals 850, like Revelation. The book of Revelation equals 218. Was 218 days after Smith's birthday. Yeah, so a lot of stuff to talk about there. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Derek. Make sure you guys go check out his blog. Make sure you guys go check out all the other channels as well. But again, this is part one of this John Cena thing, because what I just showed you with John Cena being 1776 days old on the day that the United States is 9/11/01. And remember, John Cena played this year the president. I'm still watching, just like Wes is. You know, like Wes is watching for like a plane crash with Trump, right? Which I think is possible. And in this movie with John Cena, the president crashes in a plane. Okay? They literally get crashed on somewhere. I haven't seen this movie, but they get crashed and they are running for their lives. And the girl in this movie is the girl who played in, her name is Kirk. So think about that. The girl, the president in the movie who is the bad person, her name is Kirk, and it's a woman. And she played in the Snake Eyes movie. Remember this? So this all connects back, guys. John Cena. Yeah, Wes says it was 70 days after John Cena's birthday that this released. That's the big number with John Cena and Pope Francis' death. So we got a plane crash. We got the Kirk stuff in here. We got John Cena. This is, remember, John Cena is a very famous actor now too, like The Rock. So yeah, a Trump plane crash would be absolutely insane, guys, if that happened. Remember, Trump had plane issues last year in 2024. Yeah, Carla Gugino is the actress who played Kirk in Heads of State, and then she played the woman who was standing in front of Kirkland when he was shot in Snake Eyes. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel, Wes Skeptical. It's just like this, if you want to find his channel. But you want to drop your link in there, Wes. Drop your link in there so people can go subscribe to you. Joseph, also drop your link in there. And if my mods want to drop a few other channels links in there, Widow's Son. I appreciate you mods for always being in there and dropping links. Yeah, and don't forget the Saudi Arabians, or who gave Trump a jet plane. Remember? Isn't that weird? You know how the Middle East thing was, what country gave Trump a plane? You know, because that's weird, right? Like, it just seems like that's just setting up a plane crash somehow. Like, I don't know. Qatar, yeah, it was Qatar who gave him the plane. So that would be crazy, man. Like that to me was like a huge sign. That was a huge sign that let's see when Trump's plane issue was. Let me just look that up real fast. Trump's plane mechanical issue. It was in Billings, like money, guys. That's why I think it's also about money. It was in Billings, Montana. Trump suffered a mechanical issue before landing. On August 9th, I think. August 9th or August 10th, 2024. Let's just take a quick look here. So August 9th, it was the 222nd day of the year. We know how big the 222 is. Plane equals 222, I think. Joseph did a whole video about how plane crashes are connected to the 222. We should go back and watch those. So this was a clue right here. Trump getting a mechanical issue on the 222nd day of the year. If you go to December 7th, which is the day I'm really looking for, well, it's 485. I swear I've seen this number. It is one year, 121 days. We were just talking about that number. I'm just wondering, like, when it would be. There was a plane crash last year on December 6th or December 7th, I think. This is the one. Actually, we could also be looking for December 6th, guys. December 6th. Wow, yeah, December 6th is 1 year and 119 days after Trump's mechanical issue and 484 days. Why is that important? Because 484 is the 22nd square, like 22 times 22, and crash equals 22. So 22 times 22 days after he got a plane issue on the 222nd day of the year is the day before December 7th, December 6th. So that's interesting. Also, I believe Wes is watching for November 6th. 65 weeks. Doesn't plane crash equal 65? I thought it did. It equals 56. Airplane crash does equal 65 in one of the Latin ciphers, but I don't know. Plane does equal 126, like the date 126. So I'm just giving out dates, possible plane. This whole year has been about plane crashes. Well, until recently, we haven't had many, but we still had some recently too. Look at that. It's actually 12 weeks and 5 days after Trump's mechanical issue. 1 year, 12 weeks and 5 days, like airplane crash. But yeah, I mean, wait, 458? No. It's 485. Yeah, there might be something more. You guys can look more if you guys are interested in that theme, but Airplane crash equals 62. Full beaver moon equals 62. Yeah, I think you're looking at December. Wait, you're looking at November 6th, 62, like plane crash. Yeah. So last year, the president of a company died in a plane crash. Hold on, let me see. President of company dies in plane crash December 12/6, 2024. Yeah, it was this guy. This is interesting. Look at this. Steve Mensch, the president of Tyler Perry Studios, died in a plane crash on December 6th at 62 in Florida, where Trump's based, right? Like airplane crash equals 62. Well, that happened on December 6th last year. That had 62 date numerology. So Steve Mensch died at 62 on 62 date numerology in an airplane crash, which equals 62. I believe his name, Steve Mensch. Yeah, Steve Mensch equals airplane crash or plane crash. In multiple ciphers. But 43, so how is this connected to 62? You see how plane crash equals 43? Well, 43 is the 60-second composite. So 62, right? Like he died at 62 on 62 date numerology. Plane crash equals 43, which 62 is the 43rd. Trump says that Mensch equals 62. Really? Okay. Yeah, see, Mensch 62. And so, yeah, this date coming up, November 6th, watch possible plane crashes with 62 date numerology. Guys, 48 weeks. Wow, if Trump was to die in a plane crash, J.D. Vance would be the 48th president on this day. 48 weeks. Exactly 11 months if you don't add the day. You know how big the 11 is. So, yeah, I don't know if you knew about this guy, Steve Mensch. Wes, I don't know if Wes knew about, I don't know if you knew about that, Wes, but I think this is a big piece as well, the Steve Mensch. I remember covering this, and it was a huge story that he died in a plane crash. It wasn't a huge story, but it was definitely coded. And since he was the president, you know. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, it lines up with your date perfectly, actually. It's 48 weeks after that Steve Mensch thing. And look, doesn't plane equal 48? Plane equals 48, right? Yeah, plane 48. You can go back and watch my videos too on that. I think, Wes, I have like a couple videos on Steve Mensch. You probably find some numbers there you could look at. Anyways, guys, this video has gone. How long are we at now here? Hour and 34 minutes. It's almost midnight. Time to wrap this up. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in to the video. As usual, please hit those like buttons on your way out. We shared a lot of stuff in this video. I got really passionate, as I usually do. Kind of losing my voice a bit. Yeah, Donald Trump equals 48. 48's a big number. Let's see. Anyone else have any final words? You got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I'm hanging it up. Yes, Earth is flat. Thank you for reminding us. Dome. It's always good to remind of the fake NASA stuff. Joe Flacco equals 47 in reverse and also through 70. Also 70 through. He equals 70. He threw for 470 yards today. Wow. Oh man, the illusion. I was hoping to hear from you so we could do this stream together. Did you catch this whole thing? Do I need to share something with the thing with you? Did you catch the measurement to December 7th? Let me know, Illusion. Man, I wish you could jump on here. I wanted to do a stream with you today, but I know you were busy and you were tired, but I was waiting to see if you were going to get with me on Twitter, but I probably should have gotten with you too. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the Illusion. He was covering this too. Big shout out to him for all his work on the Dodgers winning. Let's see. So I don't know why I'm still here, but the poop thing, this was crazy, right? So this guy did a video about the poop, and I was doing a measurement from John Cena to CM Punk, 551 days. Yeah, you got the Illusion. You can go back and watch it if you have time, but there's a lot of good stuff in here. I'm just waiting to see if the Illusion answers me back. Yeah, we're going to have to do a stream about this. I don't know. Maybe we can do a stream this week, the Illusion, if you want. Just let me know. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you gotta check out the whole stream, man. This is the John Cena. How this ties to John Cena and CM Punk is just absolutely wild, and it all points to John Cena's retirement match, which is the revelation. The last time is now. On 42 days after main event, you have John Cena's main event at Capital One Arena. Capital One equals 42. 42 days later, the Beast reigns 42. So yeah, and it's the 42nd main event too, right? Can you believe that, man? You pointed out was the 41st with CM Punk winning, but then in the 42nd main event is John Cena's final match, 42 days after CM Punk in Capital One Arena. But the big thing you want to see share with everyone, the Illusion, is that on December 7th, one last thing, guys. 1776, July 4th to December 7th is 9/11. So yeah, 9/11/01 days from the founding of the United States to December 7th, right? Pearl Harbor Day. Now look how old John Cena is going to be on December 7th when the United States is 9/11/01. Look at this. So the Illusion, like, look at that. John Cena is going to be 1776 days old on the day that the United States is 9/11/01 days old. And then 6 days later, John Cena's final match is going to be in D.C. when he's 1776 and an extra 6. And that's not even it, guys. I have so many connections for this day, for December 7th. It's wild. It's also the kill date. It's the date the numerology where Charlie Kirk was shot, right? Like, to me, this is one of the biggest finds I've ever made. Like, that John Cena is 1776 days old on that day. And again, he's always with the troops on Pearl Harbor Day. I'm not saying something's going to happen on that day. It could happen around that time. Could happen on December 6th. Could happen on his retirement match. George Washington's death date is the 14th. But here's the other big thing. December 7th is, look at this. I'll share one last thing. On top of all that other stuff, if you go from Trump taking office to December 7th, it's 322 days. So Trump will be in office on the same day that John Cena is 1776 days old. The United States is 9/11/01 days old. Trump will be in office for 322 days, guys. What? Out of all the alignments, all these things line up for December 7th. December 7th is Pearl Harbor Day. It's the kill date. It's 127, like buildings 1, 2, and 7. Trump will turn himself He will turn 330 Mercury year. It's his Mercury birthday, guys. It's Trump's Mercury birthday that day. On his last Mercury birthday, what happened? Charlie Kirk was shot on Trump's 329th Mercury birthday. Trump's next Mercury birthday is the 330th, and it's December 7th, the same day as all this other stuff. 322 days after he took office. The United States is 9/11/01 days old. Cena is 1776. And he's 330 Mercury, like 33, like the huge number. And it's a Mercury year, guys. It's the trickster. It's so important, these Mercury years. You don't think it's a coincidence that Charlie Kirk was shot on his Mercury birthday, right? It's not a coincidence. Right here, Trump's Mercury birthday, Charlie Kirk was shot. That means December 7th is 88 days later. Charlie Kirk was shot 88 days after Trump's birthday, and 88 days after that is December 7th. You see how perfect all this is? Also, J.D. Vance, who would take over if something were to happen to Trump, look how many days after his birthday December 7th is. December 7th is 127 days after J.D. Vance's birthday. And the date is 127. And the word assassinate equals 127. Are you kidding me? Like, just make a list of all these crazy things, guys. Like, I'm telling you. This is not like, this day looks super interesting. Like, maybe nothing happens, but I've never seen alignment like this, because the United States has never turned 9/11/01 days old either. And John Cena has never turned 1776 days old at the same day. And J.D. Vance, 127 days after his birthday on 12/7, like assassinate. That's not even it. There's more, guys. There's more. I just don't remember it all. I have a whole list of stuff. It's exactly 21 moons after the bridge collapse. So it lands on a moon lunation. It's 621 days after the bridge collapse. That reminds me of, maybe this is the day King Charles dies. This is the birthday of Prince William. So look out for that too. Also, if you go to December 7th, it's exactly 30. Look, guys, 33 weeks and 0 days after Pope Francis died. Trump is going to turn 330 Mercury years on that day. It's going to be 33 weeks and 0 days after Pope Francis died. Wow. Also, this 231 days is important. This is a big number as well. Big number in gematria. Again, it's 88 days after Kirk was shot. Look, it's 54 days after Kirk's birthday. Wow, that could be big, guys. My whole decode was connected to the 54. December 7th is 54 days after Kirk's birthday. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, the illusion says 127 days on the calendar is 18 weeks and 1 day. 181 is the 42nd prime. Yep. Not to mention it's the kill day, guys. Like literally the kill date. 64, 28, 44, 17, all the kill numbers in gematria. So, like, I just cannot overlook this date. There's no way I could ever overlook this date. And John Cena being 1776 days old is just... Let's see how old Pope Leo is going to be on that day. I was supposed to end this a long time ago, but sorry, guys. So Leo will be 70 years, 84 days, or 70, 85. Well, look at this. He's a palindrome. Guys, what does this mean? Pope Leo is a palindrome on December 7th. That's not very common. Look, 256, 256, forward and backwards. Wow. What does this mean? What's 256? Does anyone have anything on that? All right, that's your homework, everyone. What is 256 mean? What's gematria or meaning? Because Pope Leo will be 256 forward, 256 backward on December 7th. So that doesn't happen often, guys, where you get a palindrome, a forward and backwards number. $256, guys. I don't know. I don't know that number. Is that a I think that's a triangular number. Hold on. Oh, it's the 201 composite. Wow. And it's the 16th square. Like January 6th, guys. 1-6. And it's the 201st composite. Holy moly. So Pope Leo will be 256 forward and backward on December 7th. When the United States is 9/11/01, 256 is the 201st composite. We know how big that number is. Joseph saying Butler, Pennsylvania equals 256. Wow, that's where Trump was shot. Wow, this is crazy. So let's measure from January 6th event to that day. Because that's the 16th square. Maybe we're going to have another January 6th event. Well, it's 17. It's kind of like a hidden 1776. You guys see that there? 1797. If you rearrange this and flip the 9, you get like a 1776. Oh, wait, it's 256 days from January 6th. Wow. Or 256 weeks and 5 days. Wow. Guys, look at that. Guys, I just measured from Pope Leo to this day, and it was 256.5. And then if you measure from January 6th, which is the 16th square, like 1-6, it's 256.5 again. Cena has the 16 with his last match. What do you mean? The illusion. What do you mean? Uh, 250. So Cena has won 17 championships, but he was on his 16. I know what you mean by that. Well, first of all, John equals 16. You know, John Cena, of course. Wow, somebody says that the Jesuit order equals 256.5. Really? No way. Hold on. Jesuit order. Is it the Jesuit order? Wait, in reverse squares? Hold on. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I do use the square cipher because I have used it and it's relevant. So that's interesting. 256. That's the amount of time since January 6th. Your grocery allowance equals 256? Okay. Well, that's weird. That's weird for sure. Wait, I didn't even see how many days it is after 9/11. Hold on. 9/11/01. Remember, the United States is going to be 9/11/01 days old on that day. Look at this. So yeah, it's 88 days after 9/11, right? Or it's also 88 days after Charlie Kirk was shot. But if you just go all the way back to 9/11 and you measure from there to that day, it's 8853. What's 8 plus 8? It's 16. 53. So I see a lot of number play here. 8 plus 8 is equals 16, right? We're just talking about 16. 53 is the 16th triangular number, or the 16th prime. Now 5 plus 3 is 8. How would you say this number, guys? You say 8,853. So the way you say this number, if you added the 53 together, you get 8. So in a way, this day is kind of like a hidden 888 after 9/11. It's also exactly 324 moons. And Skull and Bones, the Yale just turned 324 months old, or 24 years old. So that's just me showing you that this is a lot of stuff. I didn't mean to continue this so much longer, but I got wrapped up. So, but let's end it there. You guys know now, December 7th, a huge day, absolutely phenomenal, huge day. But yeah, I'm going to Illusion. I know it's late for you too, but thank you for everyone who stuck around. Please, let's see if we can get to 200 likes before the stream's over. Not of this world. I hope you're all right with the storm. Hope you're good. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, last night when CM Punk won, the girl called the Storm. Okay, one last thing. The Storm, Jade Cargill, who's like a man. She's a woman that looks, yeah, you'll see. So this creature, as some people call, she's the Storm, guys, and she just won last night as well. So think about that. Trump, the Storm. Now this is the first time ever that the Storm has been a champion. It just seems like everything's coming into place. And she beat another girl who's named Tiffany Time, like Tiffy Time. It's time for the Storm. Jade Cargill, like JC, another JC, like John Cena. But see, yeah, they compare her to Storm, right? So I'm just saying, just more clues maybe. Anyway, let's hang it up. Hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. God bless.